and Ryan Blaney. Now, how about that Jones boy?
Seas parted. That's what this race is, right? Sometimes it parts for you, and sometimes it swallows you up.
That 43.
Yeah, look at him back here.
Right through. Wow. Reminds me of what Richard Petty often said here. I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Well, now the door's open. You've got LaJoie leading, Nemechek, Austin Dillon, Bell, Jones.
I don't think that 9 car's hurt near as bad as I thought it was originally.
Splitter looks like it's up a little bit, perhaps, in the front. Well, here is Ricky Stenhouse's reaction to what happened.
Hold on there. Guess the 22 decided just to wreck you.
We just all kind of squeezed in.
Yeah, I don't think the spotter's assessment is spot on. Joey was trying for the spot. Stenhouse wasn't about to give it up.
Yeah, I mean, it was just tight quarters right there. And like we said, you know, Stenhouse pulled the late block. Logano lifted. They were live to fight another day. And, you know, that hole might have been open, but there was just
they kept
4 cars, 4 wide, and they were both fighting for the same spot, and they just...
all these guys. I mean, this is a good car. This is why this race is so hard to accomplish.
Something still sparking and fluttering somewhere. Here's his teammate, Austin Dillon.
Oh, the fastest car.
The 2 is the fastest car of the day, and the 11 is the best speedway racer. So, Austin, honestly, you need to be thinking about that, and you need to make the decision you think is best to try and win this race and who you feel like you need to go with.
Yep.
All day long, there's one manufacturer that we really haven't talked about. Look how many Toyotas are up here now. That's how quickly the game can change. It was a slew of Fords all race long. Chevrolet's up there. Now there's 5 Toyotas in the top 8.
Let's take a look at how Austin Dillon, who was right behind Kyle Busch, watch the 3 get through here. Wow. That's threading the needle. Christopher Bell as well.
Just like that, we're back in the game, boys.
9 laps to go, Larry. Too late for trends?
So you think we might be done with cautions? I don't think so. I looked at the 6 Daytona races with the Gen 7 car over the last 3 years. The average of the last caution, somewhere around 4 to 5 laps to go. And out of those 6 races, 4 overtime finishes.
Can he make it 4? Denny Hamlin right there in 4th place.
Overtime happens if the caution comes out prior to the white flag, which signals the last lap. And the cleanup takes us past the advertised race distance. Then it's green-white checker for overtime. Corey LaJoie dipped into his kids' college fund to rent the ride in the 01 from Rick Ware Racing, then found sponsors to cover the nut. Raced his way into the Daytona 500, flew with the Thunderbirds, is leading the 500. What a week he has had.
Yeah, I mean, 9 to go in the Daytona 500, leading the race, and you look around him, you've got Austin Cindric, John Hunter Nemechek, Denny Hamlin, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell. So many stories and a lot to unfold.
Green flag for the restart with 8 laps to go. Cindric on the outside, LaJoie on the inside.
Big push on the outside coming off Denny Hamlin's bumper. LaJoie moves up for the blocks. Does he go under him? Does he take it? I think they want to be on this outside line, Kevin.
Well,
maybe not. There it is. Got him. Great move by Austin Cindric.
Yeah, now Austin Cindric has those 3 Toyotas lined up right behind him. So Denny Hamlin, he knows, and we've seen it tonight, he wants to get Austin Cindric shoved out there as far as he can, back up to his teammates, and get a run on Austin Cindric. Austin's job now is to keep himself as close as he can to that 11 car.
This is the first time Austin
Here we
Cindric
go.
has looked in that mirror and seen anybody but a Ford pushing him. He is in trouble.
7 laps to go. Hamlin trying for a 4th Daytona 500 win.
A 3-time Daytona 500 winner with a teammate behind him. That is going to be a tough thing to keep behind you if you're Austin Cindric.
Team Penske versus Joe Gibbs Racing.
With one of his cars that he owns behind them, Riley Herbst.
There you go.
Toyota's to the top side.
Left Riley out. It's only one car for help.
Yeah, well, there was only enough room for maybe one more car to squeeze in, and Christopher Bell took that hole.
He hasn't left him yet. He moved down. See if he pulls back up and uses.
Well, Denny's going to have to block both of these lanes right here. He's going to have to keep Austin Cindric back, and now we've got the manufacturer staggered, so it's every man for himself currently.
6 to go.
He's going to stay on the bottom here. I think
Bell
they touched.
Might have got a little bump there from Cole Custer, a little more than he wanted.
Boy, hold on to it, Bell. Big pushes from Cole Custer. That thing was all over the place.
And we hadn't talked about Cole Custer all night. I mean, he is as good as you can get on these super speedways, and he is aggressive, and that's what you're going to have to be. And he's also driving a Ford. I think when we look at Cole Custer pushing Christopher Bell, that 20 car does not take those pushes as well as you'd like to see.
5 laps to go.
But you know how it is at this point, Clint. You just have to take whatever's behind you and try to hang on to it.
This isn't the scenario that I think I would want if I was a teammate, you know, with being door to door with my teammate Hamlin and Bell for this front.
Whoa! Gets Bell into the wall.
Off of the front
Off of
bumper,
Custer, and up in the air goes Ryan Preece, and for the 2nd time in his career, he is flipping at Daytona. Good grief.
Off the front bumper. We were talking about a lap before. Custer got to his bumper. That thing went side to side, and he couldn't hold on to it. It was one too many.
Ryan Preece, a couple of years ago here, flipped down the backstretch after getting caught in the grass. There is Christopher Bell with the window net down. That signifies to the rescue workers that he is okay. Same with Ryan Preece. So much promise for this new ride with RFK Racing, and great speed in that car all week long.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that window net down. That was a really odd wreck with the way that front of that car got up in the air and then it blew over. Just happy to see him crawling out of that car.
I don't think I've ever seen one get up in a wheelie like that and blow over.
And there's his boss, Brad Keselowski, with a lot of damage from this one.
Well, you knew it was coming. Boy, the pushes were coming. They just kept, the aggression kept going higher and higher and higher. Christopher Bell just couldn't hold on to it.
Well, his car was just not capable of taking the pushes. We had just mentioned it a half a lap before that the back of that 20 car was all over the place. But at this point, you have no choice. You have to be able to just try to hang on to it. And
watch this thing off the bumper at Cole Custer. It just continues to get worse and worse as they come down through this straightaway. Starts there, starts dancing around across the front bumper. Some more here, gets crossed up. Rest is history. There it goes. Now watch the 60 car, Preece. Bam!
Yeah, you saw the.
Gets up on the. That's wild. I've never seen a car do that. That shows how fast they go.
And they pile up behind him. This is from Eric Jones. Oh.
Whoa. You think these guys aren't tough?
A devastating crash for Ryan Preece. An incredible camera work by our Fox crew.
I'm so glad to see that window net down and him be able to get out of that thing. Whew, that's scary.
It's unbelievable what it looks like when these cars get caught by the air like that. And I'm with you, Clint. I've never seen one take off like with a wheelie like that. But they just flip around like they don't weigh 3,600 pounds.
Well, nothing weighs that much at 186 mile an hour.
Saw the airbox just blow away. The right front tucked up underneath the A post there.
Car did its job, though.
And he walked away.
So many safety enhancements in these race cars.
So that will likely send us to overtime. It happens on lap 196.
Who's left?
Unbelievable.
We saw the side of that car face the wind, and the roof flaps had not yet come up, and that creates that pressure differential between air over the car and under the car that sends it tumbling.
Well, just like we said, though, I've never seen a car wheelie like that. The roof flaps won't work.
Yep.
Whoa. I've been there. That's a bad feeling. Did you hear how quiet it got?
Right there.
Looking back at Cole Custer on Christopher Bell.
Yeah, and that Bell car just, it was just not capable of being pushed. And I'd say that that's a lot of the reason that we hadn't seen him up there all night, because that car isn't accepting push as well. But at this point in the race, you have to just put yourself in a position to throw it all out there and hope that this doesn't happen.
Well, and that's exactly what he did. That's why these guys are where they are in the sport and in their life. See, they do not give up, and they go for it.
Priest got all that air under the nose, and you're right, it looked like it was going to just take off straight ahead. And I think he would have settled down had the car not turned and been side to the wind. And that's what sent it tumbling.
Those shots when that car lands right there, I know we're in slow motion right now, but the impact that goes through your back and spine and neck, and especially when you can't see what direction the next hit is coming from to brace yourself. Right as the camera went out, we saw him start to duck his head and just, you know, hold on to the steering wheel to brace yourself. That's what I would do. You see a lot of guys just let go of the steering wheel and things now. I always held on to that steering wheel until it yanked it out of my hands.
I agree. There is no worse feeling in the world than that.
10 cars in all involved. Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski.
It couldn't get off the front end of Eric Jones's car, too. And I mean, I can't help but to think that wind off of that car or something kind of kept it wheeling, so to speak, and up in the air a little bit. You can see how that Eric Jones's car had the underbody tore up underneath the driver's door.
Oh, now the roof flap deploys.
What's going backwards?
Yep.
Yeah, it was kind of, the right one was up a little bit when it took off, but I think, like Clint said, the whole thing's confused when it took off in a wheelie.
Watch his wheels starting to, he'll drive this thing in a minute.
I like his strategy. Hold on to the wheel.
With your thumbs out of the spokes.
Yeah, and every time you get hit like that, it's like a full impact whiplash. And a lot of times, in this car, it happens so fast that you hit the extensions on the Hans bottoms out. You go backwards, slap your head against the back of the seat, and it happens so quick inside the car that you can't control your head. See the back of that car up into the wall. I'm glad it flipped over the right direction to hit the wall with the back, at least not be upside down. See the airbox floating in the air right there. Unbelievable shots, Mike. That's the best one.
What Ryan Preece has been through, you would excuse him if he would decide never to come back to Daytona, but that's not Ryan Preece. Talladega in the spring of 2023. This one here in the summer when he caught the grass and went into a tumbling sidewinder crash.
What was it?
Over and over.
100 feet from where that just happened?
They paved all that area prior to this race to prevent that from happening. But here, when Custer and Bell get together, he goes skyward, turns to the side, up and over. Ten cars get caught up here. There's Larson, the nose torn off his car. Suarez spun to the infield. Preece up and over. And Eric Jones with a bit of damage there.
So thankful to see him get out of that thing. So many things that went through my mind. Bell, boy, he took 2 big shots. Preece nailed him when they hit and sent that car flying.
This is Eric Jones. Got a little contact there and flying race cars. Jones will be one of those who's able to continue. And there are the cars involved in this crash at lap 196.